Coming up on today's episode of the Ango Show, we're talking about some huge news surrounding an AEW star who will never sign with the WWE, making it very clear they are there for life. Also, we are talking about the real reason why Andrade was released, and WWE TKO made a pretty huge announcement, and we got to talk about it. And as always, if you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Also, you guys can follow me on all of my socials. All right, guys, let's talk about it. TKO coming out with a big press release because they've bought back $1 billion in stocks. Wow. What does this mean? Well, I think this gives you a glimpse into the future of TKO. So they have announced $1 billion in share buybacks fueled by what they are calling big plans. And Mark Shapiro is making it very clear this is not like a publicity stunt. This is not a one-off thing. They are very committed. So in this new press release, TKO revealed that it has entered into an accelerated share repurchase, which is called an ASR. It's an agreement worth about $800 million with Morgan Stanley. This move will be followed by a $174 million 10b5-1 trading plan and a previously completed $26 million repurchase via a private transaction. Altogether, this brings it around $1 billion, and this is really insane because Mark Shapiro, who is the company and COO of TKO, he says this plan is to repurchase $1 billion in shares, reflects our conviction in the business and intrinsic value of our stock. The repurchases, together with the recent 100% increase to our quarterly cash dividend program, reflect our continued commitment to a robust and sustainable capital return program. So, he also says we remain focused on executing our balanced capital deployment strategy to deliver long-term value for our shareholders. Now, this is a big deal for a variety of reasons. But what does this actually mean? The easiest terms is that TKO is going to invest a lot into their future. This means that TKO, I think really the best way to look at this is everybody talks about how TKO cares about the money and the money and the money. Yeah, I think this just further cements that, right? I think if anybody knows anything about stocks, this is a very big deal for the long term of WWE and TKO. But this is one of those things where we are now going to see how truly invested they are. We know there's going to be ticket increases. We know price increases through a variety of things. We know all of these multiple different deals that they're doing. WWE is committed long term. TKO is committed long term to WWE. This is going to be very interesting to pay attention to as we move forward into the future. Okay, so just the other day, we talked about Andrade being gone from the WWE. There has been all sorts of information on this specific subject matter. It has been confusing. It has been chaotic. It has been really a strange situation. So here's everything that you guys need to know, including the real reason. Plus, Andrade has spoken out, so we will talk about that too. So there was a report that came out that Andrade was escorted out of WWE SmackDown at least several weeks ago. So there was a new report from John Elba from Sports Illustrated. He says that Andrade's exit was not a mutual decision, but it was a release initiated by the company for disciplinary reasons. The report confirms what was also reported by Dave Meltzer, that the release was disciplinary. So there's been some reports coming out that this was Andrade asking to get out of the company. There was reports that Andrade was not even released, but he decided not to re-sign with the company. There was just so much confusion. However, John Elba is claiming that's not the case. Andrade was actually released. Now, multiple sources have indicated that Andrade had at least one wellness policy violation during his most recent WWE run. Now, this is where things get tricky. The specifics of the violation, whether it was a positive test for a banned substance or failure to produce a test, that was not disclosed. So we don't know what that issue was, and at this point, WWE has remained to keep that private. However, it was noted that Andrade was actually suspended without pay as a result of the violation. Further details report state that Andrade was told to leave SmackDown taping last month and was escorted out of the building. A high-level source indicated that the dismissal from the building was related to his suspension and that it actually affected major creative plans for his tag team partner, Rey Fenix. Now, what's even crazier here, there were some rumors that Rey Fenix and Andrade were going to win the tag team championship belt. So we don't have confirmation on that, but it's obviously a big deal. This is not the first time that Andrade had a wellness policy violation. He had one when he was with the company initially in his first run. He was publicly announced for a suspension back then. This time around, nothing was announced. WWE has not actually done any of this kind of thing with public violations. Like, they're not actually announcing suspensions or wellness policy violations. So WWE and TKO kind of have a little bit of a different thought process. Corey Hayes of Bodyslam.net also revealed that WWE has been unsuccessfully trying to get in touch with Andrade for several weeks. So that's crazy. There's also a belief that Andrade had creative differences with the WWE. I can understand that as well. Andrade today did go on social media, though, and he did make a post saying, "Thank you, WWE." And then on Instagram, he put "thank you." It was like a picture of him with a paper that says "thank you." And then he hashtagged the post and the caption with the WWE hashtag. So there's just too much confusion here, way too much going on. Obviously, it's, you try to simplify this. My quick thoughts are this. I think everybody was immediately trying to go after WWE for creative and, whatever it may be. Clearly, there is something going on backstage. Now, we can't sit here and assume. We get these reports, we could talk, we can react, but I'm not going to sit here and assume. The fact that he was several weeks unresponsive, that kind of signals to me maybe this could be a deeper issue. Whatever is going on, hopefully it all works out for Andrade. Wherever he goes next, hopefully it all works out. I guess we'll just kind of have to wait and see and then go from there. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. Toni Storm has made it very clear she is never coming back to WWE. She has zero plans to sign with the WWE. She, in fact, was on the Sandman podcast, and she said that she is an AEW lifer. She says, "When I'm done wrestling, you'll never see me again. You'll never see me in any other capacity or in any other company, for that matter. Exclusive. I will vanish from that. And there's no encore. This is it. I'm not doing anything else. Why would I? Because I'm on a long-term deal for AEW. I've signed my life to AEW. I'm on a 5-year deal, and I can't remember how long, but I'm a lifer for AEW. There's no, we'll see what happens." That does happen a lot in wrestling, though. Yes, random crazy shit happens, but as of now, AEW for life. This will be very, very interesting to see if Toni Storm ever decides to go back to WWE. I'm going to be very honest, though. I think when you look at her NXT UK run, awesome. When you look at her going to the main roster of WWE, terrible. When you see her go to AEW, honestly, it is phenomenal work. I think Toni Storm is one of the strongest pieces to AEW from a creative standpoint. I would probably remain a lifer there as well. You never say never in the business, which is interesting, but I am curious to see how it all works out and how it all pans out moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Toni Storm never going back to WWE. Can we believe her? Should we believe her? What do you guys think? Let me know down below.